Hey, so we just lost the league title. Let me put this here on Twitter. So we just lost the league title. I'm here obviously to talk about Koeman, to talk about the match, to talk about, the last 8 years, especially that we keep seeing our club, uh, doing the same thing over and over again. Let me put this on Twitter. One second. So yeah, thanks for who's already here. Let me send this to Jordi to see if he wants to come over. So pretty much, yeah, we saw the same lack of plan. We saw the same lack of, structure. We saw the same mediocrity that we have been seeing for the last 8 straight years now. Obviously, I'm not talking about the triple season for different reasons. Let me put Jordi in. Let me send the StreamYard link to my friend Jordi. And yeah, guys, so once more, we saw what we have been seeing. Doesn't matter if it was Tata Martino, it doesn't matter if it was Luis Enrique on the first half of the first season or on the following seasons after the triple. Again, with Ernesto Valverde for different reasons, for Kiki Setien, which I wasn't really watching that much, our club. So, for us to have come not only with the structure that we had under Guardiola, under what Laporta had built, and everything that the team represented, and the dominance that we had, to this structure being added to Messi reaching his prime, the best of the best that you can say from 2012, 2013, in which he had the injury before the World Cup and all the mess that happened here in Brazil. But the way he bounced back, that Messi from 2012 to 2015 was monstrous. And the way that the ideology of us fans, on Twitter, worldwide fans, and people who follow this team, was that it was normal that we were declining because we were losing the types of players like so Jordi won't be able to join today. But we shall keep on. I will be here for, I think, 30 minutes. My wife is again expecting me to have lunch downstairs, so I won't be able to stay long. But what we keep seeing, and with the same excuses, is the destruction that was made structurally, by Bartomeu, by Rossell especially, and we became to see that having a coach that has a tangential relationship, a personal relationship to Cruyff, that was enough, that due to the Masia, due to the teams, the way the team sees itself, it's built around itself. If someone who was coached by Cruyff as a substitute for 2 seasons, like Valverde, or even a club legend like Koeman now, no, the guy who literally represents with his goal against Sampdoria the dominance of the dream team, the dominance of Cruyff, and even the final victory of Cruyff against the powers to be in Barcelona. because Koeman is a legendary player in Barcelona. He's a hero in Barcelona because his Champions League final goal gave the team something that we should have gotten decades ago if it wasn't for the corruption that the Catalans elite systematically have done against FC Barcelona so they can get richer, and putting money on shady deals as we have seen in these 8 years. It is the norm of this club. What we are living right now, another season, another mediocre match, another, a poor display that most likely will mean we are losing La Liga title. This is the norm of FC Barcelona. We had the best team in Europe in the between 57 and 59. That's why we played the European final and lost in the post final that we kept hitting the post. And the Catalan elites, they dismantled that club, that team, because they in 57, when they built the Camp Nou, they robbed so much money from the club that the tale was that the trucks with the cement would enter the Camp Nou construction site and at the same period just turn around and leave, because they were faking receipts, they were stealing money, and from the financial decay that was built by them, like we are having now, Barcelona with $1 billion in debt, they had to sell, for instance, the best player in the world, who was Luis Suarez, who then went to the fascists at Inter Milan and won 2 Champions League titles. And the best player in the world, the golden. So this is the dismantling. This is what we are living right now in these 8 years. What happened before Cruyff arrived and won the Liga title in 74. It was 14 years, 14 seasons of these same people with their mediocre thinking, using the media, as we are seeing right now, to attack the players or blame the players. Oh, because Jordi Alba drinks. Oh, because it's the same thing, decade after decade after decade. So it's sad. It's really sad and it's really tiring. Most of you, once again, thank you who are watching, have been following me for many years. We have been saying the same shit, repeating the same mantra, repeating everything, and people were still finding rational ways to defend the coaches that we have, to defend the choices that were being made, to defend the signings that were being made. 8 straight years. Obviously, when I'm here, I'm talking about the debacle and why I'm recording this live stream, maybe we'll win La Liga. No, I think the the more fair way for this La Liga title to finish, to be honest with you, would be to Sevilla to win it. Really, come on. Like, I love our club. I'm not saying that I wish we didn't win. Of course, I want my club to win. But looking at the state of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid, and especially the involvement of those three in the creation of the Super League, I think the more dramatic finish to the season, a more delightful way to finish this season, will be a total shambolic finish that gives the title to Sevilla. I really think it would be the best outcome, or at least the funniest or the most ironic one, because let's be honest, it's been shit. It's been awful. So, talking about this last 8 years, I think the most revealing part of the experience has been that for every single one of the shit coaches that we have, if you follow me for a while, you remember how often I was attacked and created memes of and ridiculed for saying the same thing that I have been saying for over 10 years. People who follow me know this. I don't change what I say. It's the same. It's about what that guy built and the possibilities that the way he fought and the way he saw football created the structures around our club. And I'm talking about Macia. I'm talking how the fans are expect some sort of football from Barcelona and would never settle for how Diego Simeone has been playing for 8 years at Atletico Madrid, for instance. Everything is available to us. The experiences, the history, the teams, and especially the results. The results that have come to this club due to the Cruyffist ideology, to the Cruyff, how Cruyff saw football, how juego de posición works, how La Masia has hundreds of professionals who are trained and passionate to keep developing players for them to be able to shine and to feed this big structure into a winning team. Everything, all of these structures are available to us. They keep functioning. Why are they connecting? Why aren't they being used at the same time? Why didn't Ricky Puig play today? Oh no, because Koeman, he's Dutch. Because Koeman, he's a Cruyff disciple. He has never been a Cruyff disciple. Koeman is someone whose football expertise, whose football, his planning capabilities, his strategic thinking of the game is weak. He's mediocre, as was Valverde, as was Kiki Setien, but he's a different, also, but a different scenario with him, as Tata Martino, and let's be frank, for most of the part, Luis Enrique, because of his machismo, his, hard-headedness of keeping using shit people like Mathieu and not using the young players. And this is people who still defend Luis Enrique cannot say anything about that because he didn't. He didn't. He's the guy who okayed the signing of Arda Turan, but I'm not talking about him today. What I'm talking about is the FC Barcelona is such a difficult club for you to follow, for you to understand, because you see random people around the world. You see Brazilians, Indians, English people, no matter where you come from. And I have made friends, dear friends, people who traveled to Brazil to come to my wedding, like Jaimo and Maria, one guy from Switzerland and Maria from Chile. This is the kind of relationship that I created here. So I know that's all human beings and great people. But to think that after 8 years of watching the same thing, of watching the same excuse for what this club can achieve, how we can play, to see people using the same excuses to defend Koeman, come on. It's ideology, baby. It's the Mundo Deportivo. It's the people who were paid by the club to defend their choices. And it's insane. And I think it's so well sustained. It keeps feeding itself and then creates the little cliques that people who always defend the boards, always defend the choices. Yes, I'm talking about Total Barça here. Those fucking assholes, those people, they are old. They should be way more responsible to the size they have and the people they reach, and with the shit that they spill, the people who are come on. So I don't think even after 8 years, even with Laporta, which was the president that broke this never-ending cycle of mediocrity. Because when Cruyff was coach, uh, um, I forgot, Nunez was obliged to hire him because he was it had been like one league title in 15 years. So Nunez was really close to losing the presidency. He was being politically challenged, and he hired Cruyff, and the dream team happened. But Cruyff had to fight tooth and nail against Nunez, against the board, against the media, against this same kind of fans, the same kind of ideology they were keep feeding by these people, and he won everything. 4 back-to-back Liga titles has never happened, had never happened before for Barcelona, and didn't happen again. Not even with Guardiola, who won 3. He almost won the fourth. And the fourth one in 2012, we were really robbed by the referees. By the way, I'm not defending. I know everything that happened. Cesc Fabregas by leaking lineups, and the referees fucked us over. But this is another magic. So let me have a sip of water. So it's really crazy that even after what we saw today, that there will be people defending Koeman. Yeah, there will be. I'll often say this on my live streams that I'm really more focused on the political situation here in Brazil. I've said this many times, but whenever I come by to do a few tweets about Barcelona, I think I tweeted a few things after the PSG defeat, and then strange click of French Barcelona fans started to harass me and blah blah blah. The same shit that I have lived through for many years. So and I was just seeing the same thing that I have been hearing and having to reply to almost a decade. And I thought we're just seeing the same shit. And it's so crazy to think that this time period, it coincides not only with Messi being at his best technically, but also physically. So at the time where the biology of Lionel Messi, who obviously we know he started as a frail kid, he had to, as a child, he had to take growth hormone before Guardiola took over. He used to get injured really frequently. That's why he didn't play in the 2006 Champions League final, for instance, even though he could, but this is a different subject. So Guardiola was the one who taught Messi, or at least showed him that he should take care by himself of this part of what constitutes a great player, which is the physical part, the mental part. And since then, Messi has really rarely got seriously injured. I think the most serious one were that in 2013, before the World Cup, that he went to recover in Argentina and whatnot. So, but not only was Messi at the peak of his powers, he was taking care of himself biologically. Testosterone peaks in men when we are 25 years old. So we had Messi not only at his most beastly creative and finishing and his awesome brain, but his physicality. So that's why we got away with as many Liga titles as we have, because Messi in La Liga, and I said this in my last live stream with, I think yesterday I did it with Jordi, is that in La Liga, Messi gives you 90% or 95% of what you need to win a Liga title, or like 85 to 90%. He hands it to you. Say, I give you the goals, I give you the creative side, I give the pre-assist, the assists, and the thing I only need the coach and a squad to give me the rest of the 10%. That's La Liga. And that's why we reached until today, even though Koeman, with his total mediocrity, with his incapability of dealing with big matches, Messi brought us here. So, and to see at this 8th season, the season that started with Messi asking the club to leave, that it is a Messi that will be 24, 34 years old, 34-year-old in 2 months. And this is an older Messi, obviously. Obviously. He will still choose the time when he can run. So it's really, really sad not only to remember all the humiliations in the Champions League that Messi had to went through, and in La Liga, the few occasions that he didn't win it by himself. I think the hardest one for me by a mile is that 2019 semi-final against Liverpool. I think that is the definitive break between Barcelona and Messi, because he gave us the ticket to the final that season. He gave us with that marvelous, superb free kick goal against Liverpool. We were there. But the thing is, even when you have peak Messi, that was 31 years old Messi. I think that was his last big season in terms of also having the physicality, the best physical possible fitness ever. Because Messi is the best player in history, but he's still a human being. So it's not because he is the best in history that he can play until he's 40, or that he wants to play until he's 40. He's done enough. And the last 8 years, I think, broke his spirit, because it's impossible that it didn't break his spirit. And it's really sad to see that the best player in the history of the sport, the man who broke all records imaginable, and records that will never be broken. I don't think there will be another football player in the history, or at least as long as I live, I have 50 to 60 years in me, will score for 22 straight Liga, European League matches, as he did in 2012 or 2013, I don't remember. And obviously all the other ones that will never be reached. Obviously no one will ever score the same for Barcelona and all that. And to see Messi at the end of the season, that he said he wanted to leave, by a coach that people who say, no, he's close to Cruyff, and etc., blah, blah, blah. But obviously the signings weren't there. We gifted Luis Suarez to Atletico Madrid. And the difficulties that they had, that Messi still found the strength, he still found his passion to thrive, because that's what he does. He needs help in the big matches, because in the average La Liga match, Messi will win it for you. Buy it himself. He doesn't need help. And he did today, and it wasn't there. And it was crazy to see that even though Dembele, after he came on the 75th minute, he was able to do a little play on the right wing and then cut and cross. His cross wasn't that good to Griezmann. That against this type of deep block that Atletico has been playing for 8 years with Simeone, that a player like Dembele should have been used earlier, if you're talking about Cruyffism and etc. But also that it is pretty obvious that it's more important for you to start thinking about your play and how you combine and create and want your team to function from the middle. because after you, how you possess and keep and combine the ball, you're able to keep moving the opposing team until you find an opening, make that pass, that play with the wings. It's what this guy has been saying for over 30 years. It's what I have been saying in Twitter for 11 years. It's everything a Cruyff is say. It's not difficult, but it takes commitment. It takes belief. It takes coaching. It takes thousands of hours of training. It takes an academy, a Masia, that involves the younger players in this process, in creating this methodology, in creating this symbiosis with the players and the belief in themselves to make it work. Koeman never did it, and Ernesto Valverde never did it. Kiki Setien never got to do it. Obviously, Luis Enrique and Tata Martino never did it. 8 years with the best Messi, the top physical ability of Messi, and with several great players, obviously several awful signings. Obviously, we wouldn't be here after 8 years. So let me take a sip of water and let's see the comments that you left here. Do you think Xavi should be the next Barcelona coach? Or maybe it's still too early? Ready, thank you for Oi, amor. So guys, I'm finishing the live stream. I will answer this and be done. About Xavi, I think if he comes to Barcelona, he should be tested maybe in the B team if he is not arrogant, because I don't really think that random Qatar no bullshit league constitutes enough for Xavi to be a Barcelona coach in this moment. If Messi renews for the next 2 seasons, as most likely will happen, and obviously with the signings and Laporta right now, I think Xavi right now would be a huge risk with Messi leaving. I would wait for Messi to leave to bring Xavi. That's my answer regarding Xavi. But if there isn't any other a better choice, which I think is really hard to pick among the Cruyffist coaches or the similar ones to that, we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so guys, my wife knocked on the door. This is what I had to say. This is what I've been saying for 8 years. So I thank you once more for giving me the time of your day and listening to me. And it's the same. It's a shame we've been living from the same experiences, the same matches, the same choices, the same excuses, and the same results. Why would we waste the best player of all time and all the other structures that there is around Barcelona, Masia, and what Cruyff taught us? So thank you. Bye-bye. And let's see what next season brings us.